You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Let's have a look at today's finance. The CSX index is currently at 529.43 points, down 0.91 points or 0.17%. The daily exchange rate is 4,044 real to the US dollar. Now let's have a look what else is happening around the world. European shares advance, the euro dives to its lowest since 2017. Key US equity indexes ended up high after a choppy trade on Wednesday on a boost from the strong earnings from Microsoft and Visa, as the commodity stocks lifted European shares to their first gain in 4 seasons. The euro dropped to its weakest since 2017 after Russia halted gas supplies to Bulgaria and Poland, and investors threatened more about the region's economy. The dollar in its surge, of course, of its biggest monthly gain since January 2015, as expectations mounted the US Federal Reserve will hike interest rates aggressively in coming months in the American economy will be stronger in the Eurozone. The Dow Jones industry average rose 0.19% to the end of 33,331.93 points, while the SP 500 gained 0.21% to 4,183.92. The Nasdaq Composite dropped 0.01% to 12,488.93. Microsoft Corp jumped 4.8% and Visa surged 6.5% on strong earnings, helping the boost of the SP 500. Some of Wall Street's biggest names have reported this week, and investors seeking a counterweight to indulge a negative news has pounded stocks. There was more selling in Asia, with the MSCI's broadcast index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan down 0.82% after hitting its lowest since mid-March. Tokyo Nikkei fell 1.17%. Australian shares lost 0.78% as inflation hit a 20-year high, bringing interest rates closer. Battered Chinese stocks buckled the trend, gaining 3% as the data showed faster profit growth industry firms in March earlier this year. US stocks largely edged higher on Wednesday, while the Nasdaq ended flat and falling more than 2% on Tuesday as the investors continue to digest the slow first quarter earning results. Mega-cap tech giants Microsoft and Alphabet offered mixed signals late Tuesday, with Microsoft beating estimates while Alphabet missed some estimates by beating revenue estimates. Shares of Microsoft were up 5% on Wednesday as Alphabet sold off 5%. Investors now await earnings results from Amazon, Apple and Meta platforms, which are set to be released after the bell on Wednesday. After 155 companies have reported earnings results so far, representing 31% of SP 500, overall results are beating income estimates by a median of 7%, according to the data from Fundstrat. On the top line, overall results are beating revenue estimates by a median of 3%. Facebook rebounded from a drop in users early this year, and its parent Meta posted a profit ahead of Wall Street targets, defying low investor expectations, with a quarterly report ascent of shares up of 20%. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg also said that the company would scale back in costs and investing in artificial intelligence tools to improve recommendation and ads. A sign of Meta is buckling down to make money while working on the long-term ambitions to build its megaverse. Its stock rose 19% in after-hours trade on Wednesday. Meta's profit soundly beat Wall Street targets at $2.72 per share compared to the average analyst estimate of $2.56. According to IBIS data from Redsiv, the earning beats are tempered by Meta recording the slowest revenue growth in a decade. Oil edges lower as mass COVID testing begins in China. Oil edges lower as mass COVID test begins in China. Oil prices edged lower in early Asian trade on Thursdays as concerns about rising coronavirus cases in China, the world's biggest oil importer, weigh on future markets. China's capital Beijing reported 48 symptomatic and 2 new asymptomatic COVID-19 cases in April 27, stated broadcaster CCTV reported on Thursday. The city recorded 31 symptomatic cases a day earlier and 3 anti-symptomatic ones as it began mass testing programming and continued a new outbreak. Brent crude futures fell 37 cents or 0.4% to $1.04.95 a barrel by midnight GMT US time. West Texas intermediate crude futures fell 27 cents or 0.3% to $1.01.75 a barrel. Russian energy giant Gazprom said on Wednesday it halted gas supplies to Bulgaria and Poland. British major Shell said it would no longer accept refined oil blended with Russian products, according to trade documents, while ExxonMobil said it had declared force with Mosri on its Shukhin-1 operations in the eastern part of Russia. That's all the latest news and finance. Tune in tomorrow for more.